On YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining me for this being my review for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 11, episode 9. A couple things I want y'all to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. It takes less than a second to mash that thing, so why don't you go ahead and mash it for a brother. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this particular bracket. Who do you think is going to come out in the semifinals and make it to the final? Lip sync for your life, or lip sync for the crown, rather. Do you agree with who won the challenge? Let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. I'm so sorry I did not do a review for episode 8, but I do want to mention the lip sync between Kennedy Davenport and Hershey LaCour-Jeté. I thought that was the best lip sync this season thus far. I feel like it really could have been a double Shantae. Although Kennedy had all the props and things of that nature, Hershey really did emote and really did do a wonderful job on that lip sync. It was a great lip sync, and I did not know Hershey was that good at lip syncing either. So I really thought it could have been a double Shantae. Now, they only did one double Shantae during this bracket system. It was last season. I can't remember who the two queens were. But, you know, congratulations to Kennedy Davenport. So, for this week's Maxi Challenge, the third and final week of the third bracket, the ladies are lip syncing to classic interviews done on the RuPaul show. So I will go one by one for each queen. Excuse me, I'll go one by one for each queen, and I'll let you know how I thought they did on their challenge, and then I'll get into the lip sync, and then I'll get into the queens that move on to the semifinals. And I got my notes, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So first we have Hershey. Hershey is doing an interview that RuPaul did with Patti LaBelle. I thought Hershey's Rue look was looked a little busted to me. I did not like the wig. I did not like the outfit. I did think that she did look a little bit like Patty. I thought she had the mannerisms down. I thought Hershey did a decent job. I didn't think she was one of the best, to be honest. But I think she did the best that she could do. Here's the thing about spoken word lip syncs. I have a feeling that they are quite a bit harder than lip syncing to an actual song, because in songs you have musical cues, you have choruses that repeat at least twice throughout the song. So you know it'll be a little bit easier. Whereas with spoken word lip syncs, you have to get the timing exact. If there are pauses in between words, pauses in between sentences, things of that nature, it might be able to trip you up. And so I give my props to all 6 of these queens who did this, who did the spoken word lip sync. Much props to all you girls. I don't know how long they had to prepare. You know, all the girls did a decent job at the lip sync, so I have a feeling that they had a pretty good amount of time to prepare for this. But I thought Hershey did okay. I didn't necessarily care for the outfit she wore as Patty. I thought the wig was okay. But, you know, so I thought she just did okay. So next up, we have Jasmine Kennedy as Tammy Faye. To be honest, I don't know if it's because I love Tammy Faye Messner so much. I've seen both of the Through the Eyes of Tammy Faye. I saw the documentary Through the Eyes of Tammy Faye, and then I saw the movie that they made. I think the woman who played her was Jessica Chastain, if I'm not mistaken. I loved that movie. I thought it gave... I don't know how accurate that movie was as far as how Tammy Faye sort of kind of did her thing, how her relationship with her former husband, Mr. Baker, how that started, and you know how shy she was and how interested she was in doing what adult people do and things of that nature. So I'm a little biased towards Jasmine Kennedy in this moment because I just love Tammy Faye Messner so much. She's a gay icon forever and ever. She was one of the few Christian evangelists who was supporting the gay community during the HIV crisis in the late 80s, early 90s. she interviewed someone who had HIV. So she is so lovely and so amazing. She has such a beautiful heart. And I just love Tammy Faye. I really do. I really, really do. So I thought Jasmine did great as Tammy Faye. I thought Jasmine did great as RuPaul. I love when Tammy Faye made her entrance and she walked past the doorway and then came back. Like she did Tammy Faye. I really thought that Jasmine Kennedy did deserve to be in the top. It really could have been a top three. I don't know, but Jasmine did amazing with Tammy Faye. So shout out to Jasmine for that. Next we have Joey J as B Arthur. I thought Joey J's B Arthur looked a little crunchy. Joey J's RuPaul look really wasn't the best. To be honest, I think it's a little unfair to ask white queens to impersonate RuPaul, like for white queens to impersonate a black person. I sort of kind of have an issue with that, but all the girls had to do it, so it is what it is. It's not that bad. It's just that when you're trying to do a look from a black queen, like unless the actual outfit and wig itself makes it look more like that particular person, it just never comes across as authentic or good to me anyway. But anyways, I thought Joey J did okay. To be honest, I thought Joey J was the worst out of the six. Um, but Joey J did what she could do. So shout out to Joey J. Next we have Kennedy Davenport as Eartha Kitt. I thought Kennedy's RuPaul look was spot on. The wig was actually a wig that RuPaul has worn. I don't know if it was the exact same wig, but I'm guessing it was a replica. But the wig looked like a wig that I've seen RuPaul wear in one of the earlier seasons for a promo, I believe, or maybe she wore it on the runway. I don't know, but it was a wig that I've seen RuPaul wear in the past. Eartha Kitt, I thought Kennedy did amazing. What I don't think she was trying to act like Eartha Kitt necessarily. I thought Kennedy was just trying to be as funny as possible. Which, when you're on RuPaul's Drag Race, any challenge that you get, you got to be funny. Like you've got to make RuPaul laugh. Like every single challenge, with the exception of the makeover. But other than that, you got to make RuPaul laugh. And Kennedy did just that. She had the signs up as RuPaul that said liar while Eartha was talking, said BS while Eartha was talking, had Eartha knitting at one time, had Eartha sort of kind of manic in a way. But I thought it worked, and I was not surprised that Kennedy ended up being in the top two. I thought Kennedy probably did do the best for what the challenge was calling for because RuPaul said to make it your own, make it what you want it to be. And I thought Kennedy did the best job out of all the queens for doing that. Next, we have Sam Starr as Anna Nicole Smith. I did not necessarily enjoy Sam's Rue look. However, her Anna Nicole look was spot on as well. And I can't say that I was surprised that she was in the top two. All of the mannerisms of Anna Nicole were spot on. I thought she did the best impersonation overall. I thought she was closest to the person that she was trying to impersonate. And so, shout out to Sam Starr. Even though I love what Jasmine Kennedy did, I was a little upset that Sam made it to the top two instead of Jasmine. However, I'm sorry. Yeah. However, I I I I'm I can't be too mad at Sam making it to the top two. She looked just like Anna Nicole. She was holding her bosom, leaning forward. I thought Sam did a great job as Anna Nicole Smith. So shout out to her. And last but not least, we have Sugar Cane as Cher. I thought Sugar Cane's Rue was perfect, even though I don't think I've seen RuPaul wear the type of wig that Sugar wore as RuPaul in a long time. Like, RuPaul hasn't worn a straight bust down wig like that in a really, really long time. But her acting, her impersonation of Ru was amazing. And she sort of kind of took the Kennedy Davenport route where she was kind of manic, kind of all over the place, being on the ground, things of that nature. I thought Sugar Cane sort of kind of stepped out of her box for that challenge, and I'm so proud of Sugar Cane for doing that. Now, her share was a little demure. Her share was a little not too energetic, didn't move too much, which I guess that could have been a choice for her because Cher isn't that type of person to do the types of things that, I say Eartha Kitt might do. Eartha Kitt sort of kind of might have done the things that Kennedy Davenport did for her. But I thought that Sugar Cane was in character for Cher. And I just think that that was a luck of the draw. I don't know how intentional Rue was in picking who would do what. But I thought Sugar Cane did what she was supposed to do. Here's my thing. Sugar Cane is my favorite queen from bracket 3. I've always loved Sugar Cane. I loved her in season 11. However, Sugar Cane is one of those queens who is probably not going to win a competition if she goes into it, like RuPaul's Drag Race, because Sugar Cane doesn't have the biggest personality. But I think she's a great drag queen, and I personally love Sugar Cane for her personality and what she brings to the show. How she does on challenges is another thing, but I do love Sugar Cane. Once again, Sugar Cane is my favorite queen from bracket 3. So the top two were Kennedy Davenport and Sam Starr. Kennedy ends up winning the lip sync. Kennedy goes into the semifinals. 3 of the queens, of the bottom queens, Sugar, Hershey, and who else? And Joey. They all give their points to Jasmine Kennedy. Jasmine Kennedy gives her point to Hershey. And so it's the tie between Sam Starr and Jasmine Kennedy. And Rue decides not to break the tie and allows both Jasmine Kennedy and Sam Starr to move into the next round. These sorts of types of things sort of kind of confuse me because I feel like she could have done the exact same thing in bracket 1 between Morgan McMichaels and Akira Chanel Davenport. So that's sort of kind of confusing to me. The judging on RuPaul's Drag Race, especially in the most recent seasons, have been a little all over the place. So you never really know what to expect when it comes to their judging. But shout out to I am happy that Jasmine gets to get into the semifinals. I am happy. I do think that she does deserve it. Just based off of looks alone, Jasmine Kennedy came in with a glow up of all glow ups. Like Jasmine looks gorgeous in her transition. And so I'm very happy that she makes it into the semifinals. Now, Michelle and Rue picked three queens, one from each bracket, to be put into the lottery to see who is the lottery queen that makes it into the semifinals. The 3 that are up for consideration are Morgan McMichaels, Selena S. Titties, and Joey J. I knew that they were not going to reveal who it ended up being. I'm assuming that it's going to be Morgan. And I think out of those 3, although I would not mind seeing Selena in the semifinals, I have a feeling that because do I think it's random? Absolutely fucking not. Like there's no way that it's just a random draw. I'm sure RuPaul picked exactly who she wanted in the semifinals, and I'm assuming it's going to be Morgan McMichael. So we'll see what happens in the first episode of the semifinals. I'm not sure if they're going to do Snatch Game or what the challenge is going to be, but I'm excited to see it. Let me know down in the comments, what were your thoughts on RuPaul not breaking the tie between Sam Starr and Jasmine Kennedy? Do you think that it's fair that both of them got into the semifinals? Let me know down in the comments. And who do you think is the queen that won the lottery for the queen that gets into the semifinals? Let me know down in the comments. Join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.